So, Pro Football Network decided to suggest the Bengals go after and sign Preston Smith. Now, if you don't know or remember Preston Smith, he was a Green Bay Packer for most of his career. He actually played for the Steelers, I believe, last year for 1 year and wasn't really the greatest. But here's the quote from PFN. Preston Smith fits the Bengals. He typically plays shaded on the outside of the offensive tackle and is a stout run defender. In my opinion, he is better than Joseph Ossai and would be a clear upgrade to the Bengals' defensive line. First off, I don't like the shade thrown at my boy Ossai here. Joseph Ossai is an absolute G, so I'm going to preface that right away by saying, come at me, bro. Anyway, second thing, yes, Preston Smith's going to be 33 years old when the season does kick off. He's actually right now 32, and yeah, he's going to be 33 when the season kicks off, as I said. He did get 2 sacks last year. He played 8 games, 9 games the year before. Actually, no, last year he played a total of, 17 games total. Because he played 9 games for the Packers. Then I think he got traded, I believe, to the Steelers. Played another 8 games. So total last year for 2 teams, he put up 4.5 sacks, 6 quarterback hits total. And again, listen, if he's a good run defender, sure, why not? I don't really mind at all having as many good options as possible. But it's one of these situations, like we always say when it comes to free agents, everyone's a yes depending on the price tag. Because I don't mind adding anyone to the 90-man roster right now. If you want to be on the 90-man roster and have a chance to compete for this roster, go do it. There's never a no in that scenario. But what there is a no is when you want guaranteed money and you want too much money. So because of that, it really comes down to the price tag for him and how much he wants. Pass rushing grade last year, he hit a 59.3. Run defense is 64.3. So, is he the greatest? No, but I think there's definitely a scenario where if he'll take less money and he won't take as much and he'll work with us on the contract, I think, yeah, why not? There's no reason not to. But if we look at his stats from previous years, let me pull up this real fast. Previous years, last year, okay, so run defense in previous years was 74.3 with the Packers, 64.1, 72.1, 63, 64.6. He is up and down peaks and valleys. Holy moly. He is everywhere when it comes to numbers. Like 1 year he's great at run defense. The next year he sucks at run defense. Obviously there might be a pattern of them having certain players is why he was good. And then them not having certain guys would mean he might play bad. He might not be as good. Defensive grades, though, the last 4 years, they've been, again, ups and down, peaks and valleys. 64.2, 73.9, 66.4, 80.8. He definitely peaked in 2021, it looks like. That was really his biggest one, and he had 10 sacks that year, so that makes sense. Did have a nice 9-sack year following that up, so that's cool. 13 quarterback hits, 23 hurries in 2023. Again, last year was just a down year, so I think if he, again, it depends on the price tag, but I think if he'll take little to no money, yeah, obviously, but he's a guy where I feel like a team will end up signing him, especially when it comes to after the draft. This draft is very heavy on the defensive line and edge rushers and linebackers. This is a very good defensive draft. It's not the greatest draft altogether, but it is a really good defensive draft. That's where it's loaded at. So a lot of teams are going to wait to see what they get in the draft before they sign players like Preston Smith, like Von Miller. They're going to wait to see who goes in the draft. And that's the same thing the Bengals are going to do as well. So, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, the Bengals are not going to do anything when it comes to the next, week. The next 9 days, the the Bengals are going to be absolutely as minimalistic as humanly possible because there's no reason for them to do anything. You know, you don't want to go and sign someone before the draft and then, then you draft somebody. Obviously, that's fine. But you could have gotten that guy cheaper after the draft, right? So you don't want to sign him now. You want to wait till after the draft and then maybe get the guy cheaper because he's been in free agency longer. And then again, you have June 1st cut dates and that stuff. So then you have more free agents, more veterans hitting the market. You want to always keep your options open. Now, of course, right now we do have this 90-man roster, and this is going to be like this until the season kicks off with the 53-man roster. So we can kind of chill right now when it comes to if we want to sign someone, we can. But again, you also want to have those spots open for younger guys that might be potentially future options for you, right? You don't want to fill all your spots you have with veterans who maybe they're good, maybe they're not. You have to wait and see, right? You have to wait and see if they blend with you. Sometimes you just want to get a bunch of just undrafted potential. And you want to go into training camp, going to, OTAs and stuff like that and see how good they are. Because if you go into those training camp and stuff with a bunch of veterans, you probably already know what you got. Yes, obviously they have to potentially work out with you. You have to work out with their, see if they can work out your team. But you got a general idea, okay? This guy, the last 6 years, this is what he did. I have the homework on the last 6 years of this guy's career. An undrafted guy, a guy that has hidden potential, you don't know. And you want to see him out there. And you probably rather see him get more reps than a potential third-string edge rusher who's a veteran. Even if you're paying him good or decent money, you rather see an undrafted guy because that undrafted guy is going to be making no money for the next 4 years, and you potentially could get him, get him on a contract and actually help out your team. So, tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. See you guys next one. Deuces.